Kurt Doctor, Randy Retzloff. Randy here? Randy Retzloff and Larry Hellwig. And I don't believe Gil is here, but I want to thank them for taking the initiative to fund us as we needed to get this monument going and getting in this wonderful place. And finally we have a home for our veterans here and for our monument. There are some veterans I would like to bring up. Jeff Casper, if he's here. If you're here, please come on up. Jim Hunts. Jim Magyar. Jim Fries. Or Freeze. Harold Ball. Randy, yes, I'm sorry. Wayne Saminsky. Stan Zimmerman. Lee Chase. Greg Mish. Tom Contact. And Art Burbeck, who I believe is not here. He's been ill. This goes back a couple of years ago, right, Tom? Where, you know, we had talked about the helicopter and the condition it was in. And Tom came to me and said, you know, I'd like to get involved. And Tom and our veterans here spearheaded the restoration of our Huey helicopter here. They worked tirelessly in the highway department garage with donuts and coffee every weekend and did a heck of a job. And if you take a look at this, what a beautiful job they did. And I want to say to all of you guys, from me as a veteran and as a combat medic, and I also want to thank you for putting the 82 on the doors. And not to get into long stories, but when I was wounded in Vietnam, dust off 82 on a sock train Vietnam picked me up. And I want to thank all of these guys for having giving me the honor of having that on that helicopter. And I just want you to know it meant so much to me. And the day they pulled that in, they didn't tell me 82 was on it. It's coming in like 7:30 in the morning, and I don't usually get up till 7:30. And I was here, and I looked, and I saw the 82 on the doors. I couldn't speak. And, you know, guys, to this day, I look at that 82, and it brings back memories. And I love you all as veterans, and thank you so much for everything that you've done. If you give these guys a round of applause. All, and I think everybody will agree, there's only one person here. And I think everyone knows Tom Contact. Without Tom, this wouldn't be here today. Tom wanted to be involved, and I'll say he really got involved. He did everything he could. He got bids. He worked on this tirelessly. And Tom and I become close friends. But I would like to read a proclamation. Whereas Tom Contact has served the town of Wheatfield and veterans with distinction, whereas Tom Contact, in conjunction with our veterans, rebuilt and restored our Huey helicopter during 2019 2020 in our highway garage. I hope you can hear me. Whereas Tom Contact spearheaded the development of the Veterans Memorial at our Town Hall campus, whereas Tom Contact coordinated the transfer of our original Veterans Monument and our M60 tank to their new home at the Town Hall campus. And therefore, on behalf of the Wheatfield Town Board and the residents of the Wheatfield, on this 7th day of August 2021, we recognize Tom Contact for his service and dedication to the town of Wheatfield and its veterans. Tom. There's a little gift from the town of Wheatfield Town Board. And for you and Rita, and Rita's in charge. So.
Yes.
Also the benches that you see here. Rita told me that, so I'm just going by what she told me. The benches we have here today, and there's going to be like a ceramic plaque on each one of the benches, were purchased by local residents and businesses. One was purchased by Jesse Gooch, county legislator. John and Tom Berge from John's Motor Shop, the Kiwanis Club of Wheatfield, Pelicanos Market, Randy Retzloff, Wendell Engineering, the town of Wheatfield, and Art Gerbeck. And we give them a round of applause too. I know thank you so much for being part of the memorial, and these plaques will be in place as soon as possible, guys. But thank you. And thank you, veterans. Tom, thank you.
Thank you, Don. If I may at this time introduce Mr. Bill Ross, Conservative Party Chairman. Bill? with 28 years of service, by the way. Army.
Some of that time was reserve, active reserve.
Doesn't matter, it's service.
Well, I'd like to begin by thanking Tom Contact and his committee. It was a long trip, bumps in the road, but look what you have today. Beautiful compared to the situation on Ward Road. And the other people I'd like to thank are the people that took time out of a busy summer weekend and are here today. And that's just honoring. That's honoring and respect for the people that this monument represents. You know, a lot of these people, whether it's Wheatfield or other places, when they got their draft notice or volunteered, they went willingly. It was difficult because they were leaving their family, they were leaving their home, they were leaving their career, and they didn't know where they were going to end up. The geography taught in schools today doesn't leave much room for looking at anything but the United States, and some of the schools don't even teach that when they don't know the capital of New York State. That's another topic for me anyway. But they did go, and they served their country. Let me tell you, you know what they believed in? They believed in a free land, a land under this flag of democracy, the greatest government document ever, the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Many of them, as you well know, never came back. In fact, if we trace all our wars from the Revolutionary War to our unconventional wars or police actions, we lost 1.4 million. And you know what that means, folks? We got a lot of Gold Star mothers. Well, a lot of them have gone to the reward, but there are still many Gold Star mothers living. I'm up here really to introduce, but you never give an ex-politician the microphone, as you well know. But, you know, what makes me proud today, you've got Vietnam veterans here. And Don McSwan was one of my kids in the seventh graduating class at Niagara Wheatfield, 1966. He had a twin brother, John. They both went into the service. And they were very competitive people. They were both on the football team. They had a good time at Niagara Wheatfield. I don't know if they made the honor society, but they had a good time at Niagara Wheatfield. Let me put it that way. But anyway, both of them went over. And if you ever get a chance, certainly read that medic, combat medic. Many of you have read it, I realize that. You really get a picture of Vietnam and what they faced. And we have several Vietnam people here. And then the next thing, I'm getting the opportunity to introduce a younger person. Matter of fact, I don't know if he was born, probably born during the Korean War. I don't even know if he was born during the Korean War. And that's our United States, he might be someday, our state senator, our state minority leader, one of the most powerful people in Albany. And he's got a message, and I like his message, and looking at the folks here, you like his message, because it revolves around law and order. It revolves around so many topics of a conservative nation that we all would back it. And he's been all over the state. Matter of fact, we're very fortunate to have this strong voice here. And certainly, his military record is outstanding. He served in Afghanistan in one of these unconventional wars where you don't know who you're fighting, and he earned the Bronze Star. He is the #1 conservative state legislator in all of his voting there at Albany. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you a combat veteran, an outstanding state senator, our state minority leader, Robert G. Ork.
You know, there's two things that I don't like to do. One, I would never want to have to sing a song after Cammie Clune, and I hate to have to give a speech after Bill Ross, right? So Those are two things I don't like to do. I only have to do one of them today. I will also be brief, like Bill. First of all, Coach, thank you for those kind words. I'm really here today, certainly as your elected representative in Albany, but also as a veteran. And I know all of you are in that role here to honor our veterans and honor the men and women who both paid the ultimate sacrifice, but who've worn the uniform of this country. Because to what Bill was talking about, really, if there's something that drives me in Albany, if there's something that drives me whenever I'm around the state, it really is, I look at this as a continuation of my service when I wore the uniform, when I swore an oath to the Constitution. And like all of you, that oath doesn't go away when the uniform comes off. That oath to the Constitution, to this country, it is a lifelong oath. The oath and commitment to your brothers and sisters in arms doesn't go away when you come home. It continues on. And look no further than this monument behind me, because I know, a lot has been said about Tom Contact. And Tom, I don't have an envelope for you because I generally don't like to give envelopes to anybody in public, all right? That's how rumors get started, right? So I don't know what was in that envelope. I assume it was a card, but whatever. But I want to say to Tom and to his committee, because these things don't just happen. We're all here today and we think this is a great thing, right? Probably we all would have agreed a veterans monument is but even those things are challenging. Where do you put it? How much does it cost? Where do we get the money? And sometimes those things can derail a project that everyone else agrees is a good thing. And I want to give a little credit and recognition to, we have legislator Jesse Gooch and legislator Rich Andrus who are here today. They did help secure Greenway funding for this project. So I don't know where Jesse and Rich are. They're somewhere out there. You just stand. Thank you very much, Legislator Gooch, Legislator Andrus. Thank you very much. Because as much as we all hate to admit it, somewhere somebody has to get paid to make this a reality, right? That's just how life is. But I just want to also briefly thank all of the veterans who are here. Today is Niagara County Purple Heart Recognition Day, which probably couldn't be a better day for us to pick, because I know there are Purple Heart recipients here today. And for those who don't know, the Purple Heart is the one award that nobody wants to ever get when you deploy, because that means you were injured, probably blown up or shot, or you took shrapnel in combat. In the military, those who are in, we always sort of joke, you see with the Purple Heart, you think, well, geez, you should have ducked or you should have got out of the way, or right? We kind of crack a joke about it, but it is no laughing matter. It is the oldest ribbon, the oldest recognition in this country. Started by George Washington during the Revolutionary War. And I can't think of a better day, a more fitting day to have the unveiling of this monument than to say thank you to our veterans. And I would like to specifically say thank you to our Vietnam veterans. And look at Bill, by the way, Bill Ross, I was not born in the Korean War. I'm sorry, I wasn't. I was born much later. But that's okay, that's all right, that's, sometimes if they don't know, that's better. Oh. I got it. And there goes the program. But I want to thank the Vietnam veterans who are here. I mean, every year we take a group of veterans, except for last year, of course, with COVID. I've been fortunate and blessed to be able to fly a bunch of veterans down to Washington, D.C. to visit the World War II monument for our World War II veterans who are still with us. Are there any World War II veterans here today, by any chance? Yeah, I used to ask that, and there used to always be a couple. And obviously, we're losing them, and soon they'll all be gone. And so, if you know a World War II veteran, boy, give them a hug and thank them for what they did. We take our Korean War veterans to the Korean War Memorial, and then we stop at the Vietnam Memorial. And increasingly, more of our veterans that are going on this trip are Vietnam veterans. And I know there were Vietnam veterans who were very involved with making this monument a reality. And I will just say that that is a generation of veterans who really stand apart in the way that when they came back, they did not always come back to a grateful nation. you, and I'm talking to all you Vietnam veterans out there today, you are the ones, your generation, the ones who did come back, have made sure that no group of veterans is ever treated that same way again, and that future generations of veterans are in a better spot with benefits, with recognition, with you name it, better than you found it. You have made sure that future veterans are in a better spot and are better recognized by this country than you were. And so I want to, on behalf of my generation of veterans who get to come, I came back to the airport, there were folks there applauding, they gave us a parade. I mean, we get, you know, discounts at stores. We go to the Think About program at the county clerk's office. All the VA is better today than it certainly was 40, 50 years ago. All of those things would not be possible but for the commitment of our Vietnam veterans. And so I want to thank the Vietnam veterans who are here today for what you have done, not only serving this country in combat, but serving your fellow veterans when you come home. And I want to say welcome home to all of you. And it's a great honor to be here today. I do have things to give. They're not envelopes, as I said, but I have a certificate of recognition to the Wheatfield Veterans Memorial Committee. So, Tom, if you want to accept this on behalf of your membership. And I want to present, if Don McSwan can pop back up real fast, I just want to present a proclamation recognizing this monument and this day. And I want to say to all of you, thank you for being here. God bless all of you. God bless our veterans. And God bless the United States of America.
Okay, with that, I would like to ask Lieutenant Colonel Knapp to come up and do his presentation. Colonel is from the 914th Refueling Wing, right here in our backyard, Niagara Falls.
It's funny. I'm really humbled to be here today and appreciative of the opportunity. I guess all the politicians got 5 minutes. He gave me 45. So short speech here that I'll give. I'd like to thank everybody for inviting me here. The 914th Airlift Wing appreciates the opportunity as well, and thanks for the service of everybody here. Obviously, I wasn't born during Vietnam either, so I'm fortunate for that. But coming here and seeing this Army helicopter, people may wonder, you know, why is an Air Force guy here talking about the Army and how cool the Army is? I can tell you, probably during the same time the Senator was, I found myself at Bagram Airfield in Afghanistan with about 6,000 of my best Air Force friends around me. And we had a bunch of airplanes. And protecting us on the base was about 10,000 Army. And they were working with the Marines and running through the mountains and chasing down people. And if you think those Marines and those Army guys can't run through the mountains, even at 8,000 feet, they sure can. So could the enemy. Our job was to protect them, either with hostile fire or troops moving them in and out of the area. So it was a team effort. We all did it. They protected us and we protected them, and that's kind of the way the service is. We all help each other out. So I started out in helicopters as a young man, believe it or not. I was young. And I worked on Hueys and H-53s. Somebody remembers Jolly Green Giants? That was me. We worked on those, and we trained the best pilots out there. I could say that, you know how helicopters are, they resist the air, and they try to stay non-airborne. So some of the best pilots out there were helicopter pilots. So after 2 years of training, I went out to RAF Alconbury in the United Kingdom and rolled around with special operators for almost 3 years, and we supported a lot of troops in contact, and we were all in the hot spots of 1992 that you probably remember. There was Bosnia, there was Turkey, there was a lot of stuff going on back then, and we picked up a lot of people who crashed and did different things, but we also supported a lot of folks, and we lived in tents and we lived in crappy environments, and we had terrible food. And you heard an Air Force guy just say we had terrible food, because we really did have terrible food. But we all made it through it, and we came home, and we did good things for America. I think I went through more uniforms working on helicopters than I have the entire rest of my career. So the community that we worked with, that flew and worked these, were a brotherhood. And I guess that's the best way that I can describe it. There's a brotherhood of folks who stuck together, and even now with the advent of Facebook, we still talk about it. We still talk about our days and the helicopters that we rode on and the things that we did, and we're proud of it. So this dedication to me is more than just a dedication, and I would ask that as the people stop by and walk through, you remember all the people that did the things that they did that kept us safe back then, but also the people that are still out there today, still serving in uniform with me and still going and doing important things for America, because it's all important work. So, thank you.
We have one more speaker for you, maybe two. Can't hear you. We have two speakers left for you. The next speaker is Sheriff Michael J. Filicetti from the Niagara County Sheriff's Department.
Thank you, and I appreciate being here today, the invitation to be here. Coach, I was born in the Vietnam era, not the Korean War, but so I'm a little older than the senator, I guess, maybe. I want to tell a story about a Wheatfield resident. He's a veteran, a Purple Heart recipient, and I thought that'd be appropriate with the setting that we're in today. I think this individual's story exemplifies what this new memorial is all about. His story began on Christmas Eve, 1967, as he flew out of Buffalo to Vietnam while his family was safe at home, attending a Christmas Eve church service. From his arrival in Dong Tam, he soon realized his time in Vietnam would be nothing like he had ever seen before. As a combat medic, he would soon see the worst carnage and be put in harm's way repeatedly throughout his one-year tour in Vietnam. Sleep would come sparingly as mortar fire would be his wake-up call throughout the night. Meals consisted of sea rations that might be ham and lima beans, which sounds very appealing, or maybe beef, steak, or turkey loaf. I'm not sure which is worse. Meals would often be heated in his helmet with the use of a small piece of C4. Marlboros and chiclets offered some relief to the sight of war. The scream of "we need a medic here" would be heard far too often. The words "hang on, you're getting out of here" were said by him probably as often. I cleaned that one up a little bit for the audience. He hoped that he would be right every time he uttered those words. He saved countless lives through his selfless efforts on the battlefield. He saw soldiers badly wounded or dying, lost many friends, and experienced the emotional and physical toll that goes with that. He would write home to his wife to let her know he was okay, maybe in a strange way to touch some normalcy back at home. The soldier was wounded in combat and remained in country to bring the fight to an army that never seemed to run out of men. He put his life on the line running towards danger to save his fellow soldiers time and time again. I'm not sure he ever gave a second thought about his own safety as he bravely performed his duty as a combat medic. This is one soldier's story. That soldier is combat medic Don McSwan. I recently read Doc's book and was so moved I felt compelled to call him and tell him just that. And if you haven't read the book yet, I'm not here to sell this book for him, but it's an amazing book. I have come to appreciate his friendship and our working relationship, but I never knew his story. I have grown to truly respect you and everything you've done. Millions have proudly served in the U.S. military and have made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. This memorial will stand as a testament to those that have served and will never be forgotten. I want to offer thanks and congratulations to all those that have contributed to the construction of this monument, and I want to say God bless our veterans and the United States of America. Thank you.